Saints Row wasn't just another open world crime game. It was the game that said, yeah, GTA is cool, but what if we did crime and absolutely did not take ourselves seriously? This series gave us custom characters, and somehow all in the same game. Fast forward to today, the Saints Row franchise is dead. Volition, the studio behind Saints Row, is gone, and the series that once stood out by being different completely lost its identity. So what went wrong in the Saints Row franchise? When Saints Row launched in 2006, let's be honest, everyone called it a GTA clone. But Saints Row had something GTA didn't lean into at the time. You weren't playing as a carefully written protagonist with a set backstory, character customizations that was insane for 2006. Saints Row 2 is where the series found its soul. This game generally nailed the balance. This is the game fans still point to say, yeah, this is Saints Row. And unfortunately, Volition never went back to this again. Saints Row the 3rd was a massive success, and this is where the series accidentally learned the wrong lesson.
If it's free porn for everyone, I am down.
It was fun, but something important was slipping away. The emotional grounding, the grit, the sense that these characters actually belonged in the world. Volition saw the numbers of the sales drop. So this is when Volition starts to crumble a little bit more down into the Saints Row franchise. They probably was like, okay, we have no idea what we're doing anymore at this point. Now let's not get this wrong though. Saints Row V was actually fun to play. But here's when the story kind of loses its touch on the past Saints Rows. You're basically the president, aliens invade, you get superpowers, cars, optional, guns, kinda irrelevant, crime, wood crime. At this point, Saints Row wasn't an open world crime game anymore. It was basically like a superhero parody wearing Saints Row skins. And here's the problem. Where do you go after that? Now this was the moment when Volition fully abandoned Saints Row gameplay DNA. Saturday morning cartoon tone, hero shooter energy, none of what fans actually wanted. A couple years later down the line, we get the new Saints Row game. Tone was confused, the characters didn't feel dangerous. We had some ad bugs, story narrative plot was weak writing. In 2023, Embracer shut down Volition. The studio that created Saints Row was gone. No secondary chances, no recovery art, just done. Here's what I think the Saints Row that should have existed. Saints Row worked when it was funny and brutal, absurd but grounded, stylish without losing threat. Saints Row 2 proved that balance was possible, and every game after that slowly drifted away from it. Fans adored Saints Row 2, including myself. Memes, machinimas, cosplay, online communities. The game had heart. This fan base is why later missteps stunk so badly to everyone of the loving franchise Saints Row. But the Saints shifted from gangsters to celebrities. The game focused on spectacle over grounding. Volition basically took bigger jokes, bigger sales. But the problem with that, it lost the emotional depth and started fading. Every Saints Row after that slowly drifted away. But currently with the company of Volition, they have been shut down for after almost 30 years in the business. The team behind the SIT, Red Faction, all the great games Saints Row are all closed part of a corporate restructuring by their current company Embracer Group. Now, this wasn't a mad development layoff. Volition was closed entirely in August 2023, meaning the people who built Saints Row aren't actually a studio anymore. That's actually a huge deal. Developers and designers, storytellers. Even though Volition is gone, the rights to Saints Row still exist. They can sell it to another company, license it out, and develop it to a new team, or just sit on it forever and do nothing. 2022 Saints Row got a reboot, a big glossy attempt to start the franchise over. The game didn't hit so well and the records of sales was very poor. It was unperforming with fans and critics, so it didn't slowly take down the franchise. Volition got moved within Embracer to Gearbox Entertainment before ultimately being shut down. Now they've said they are focused on the AAA development, partnering with other publishers. That doesn't necessarily mean they're making Saints Row. This situation isn't unheard of in gaming, and bigger corporations often shuffle studios around. So even though Volition is gone, some of the creative minds behind Saints Row are still working in the industry. Now here's the part that's giving fans real hope. The original designer director of the Saints Row franchise from the 2006 game, Chris Stockman, has reportedly been contacted by Embracer to pitch a new Saints Row title. He's been openly talking about putting together a pitch for a sequel, a return to the Saints Row franchise roots, maybe even set in the 1970s with early gang origins.
If I was put in charge of Saints Row, the reboot, I would have gone back to the drawing board and said, I would have done a prequel. I would have put the game in the 70s, basically had all the characters from the first one be as if, they're teens, and talk about sort of the rise of those gangs from the first one. And then you satirize the 70s culture, which, you wouldn't be taken seriously. You would satirize that sort of era, go back to the basics. You still can be kind of off the wall and crazy, but not batshit crazy. I would only want it back if there was no one was telling me what to do. If they came to me and it's like, oh, we want you to reboot it. Here you go, no strings attached, and you know, we just get cuts of revenue and have at it. You know, I don't want to be tied down to a corporate machine that tells me what I can and can't do. Give me the IP. And let me go find a way to make it. I'm pretty sure I could do that, and I'm pretty sure I could be successful at it.
That doesn't mean the game is officially greenlit yet. It means he's been asked to design and pitch the concept. And if Embracer likes it, this could evolve into a real project. This is exactly what fans been begging for, a return to what made Saints Row in the first place. Before wandering into chaos, aliens, presidents, and reboot confusion, online fan communities paint a pretty mixed picture. Some think the franchise is dead forever and that nothing will receive it. It's being held by a major publisher, and a former director is actively trying to steer it back to life. Volition is closed, the original developers are no more, and Embracer via 8 Deep Silver PlayOn still owns the IP. Former devs formed new studios, so the talent still exists. A potential prequel pitch is being developed by the original director. Now, nothing is officially announced yet beyond that pitch. It's more like Saints Row is stuck at a crossroad, basically. If you're a fan, this is the moment to keep hope alive. Maybe a prequel, maybe a remaster, maybe just a please don't make it another alien president game. Now I want to hear from you guys. Do you think Saints Row could come back stronger? Would you play a prequel that goes back to the roots? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to read all of them, and I love seeing what you guys think. If you guys enjoyed this Saints Row deep dive, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and turn on notifications so you don't miss when we cover the next big gaming story. Well, that's all I gotta say. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I will see y'all in another vid very, very soon. Your boy is out. Take it easy, y'all. Peace.